English Fire Art, Job Series number 11. Painter, performer, philosopher, photographer, pilot, piper, player, poet, poetess. How to practice listening and speaking. Watch the video, listen, and read silently. To understand the content, pause the video as often as necessary. Watch the video again, listen, and read aloud. Then mute the video, watch, and read aloud. Repeat until you pronounce easily, sound natural, and speak confidently. Painter, painter of signboards, the painter at Montmartre, the painter and the art lover, the painter's studio, the painter, the sculptor, and the architect, the painter, painter to the moon, the painter and time, the family of the painter, Adalbert Trilhase, painter in bed, painter and model, three brothers, the painter's children, a female painter, the portrait painter, the house painters, landscape with painter, performer, the street performers in the night, the traveling performers, the dreaming performer, the great performer, portrait of an Iberian performer, philosopher, the three philosophers, philosopher and poet, a philosopher, a philosopher, the philosopher's egg, philosopher reading, philosopher in meditation, the birth of the philosopher, philosopher's lamp, philosopher two, the philosophers, philosopher illuminated by the light of the moon and setting sun, the philosophers, photographer, the photographer, photographer, the photographer's sescal, portrait of the photographer, pilot, a group of Polish pilots, future pilots, pilot, gringo pilot, Enola Gay, fighter pilot, piper, the piper, the piper, the piper, the bagpiper, piper, the piper at Lake Albano, piping shepherd, player, the card players, the dice players, the scat players, bagpipe player, the card players, the lute player, the chess player, rugby players, snooker players, horse and flute player, poet, a poet, poet in exile, portrait of the poet Kleist, portrait of poet futurist Wassily Kamensky, poet and muse, the poet's farewell, the window of the poet, Italian plaza with monument of a poet, poet, the poets in my house, two poets, the poet, portrait of the poet, Vasil Simonenko, the youthful poet's dream, poetess, the poetess Yukon, the poetess, Sappho,